But within those 3 blocks, it was a whole new world, man. I'm talking about, I seen pimps, I seen hustlers, I seen graffiti. I heard music being blasted out the boombox, blasted out of new cars. I'm seeing young kids with big chains and big guns, and I'm seeing crack vials. So eventually, I ditched my cousins. I started making my way now. I got friends now. You know what I mean? I got friends, yo, we cool. Hey, yo, what time you going to school? Yo, come meet me out, meet me outside my house. This is back then. You could let your kids go to school when they was like 6, 7, before the world got crazy.
Today, there's a new epidemic. Smokable cocaine, otherwise known as crack. It is an explosively destructive and often lethal substance which is crushing its users. It is an uncontrolled fire.
How important that was track 2, right after the intro. Why did you think that was important to set the scene for the audience?
Very important. They had to know that, as cool as entertainment may make it sound like, yeah, we was getting money, paid in full, looks good, we on the bike flipping, getting money. It was hectic. So I had to describe that. Like, this was a time where you had to survive. You weren't being raised. So just the importance of letting them know crack vials were on the floor, like, it very important to me. It's like, I couldn't tell that story without that part. It wouldn't have went to me. And, again, I had it was a stage. It was a stage. Guys were outside. I said the big chains and the cars. So at that time, it was becoming alluring to me now. I'm like, and I don't know if you people, I said it, I ditched my cousins. I couldn't walk with them because not that they were squares, but I didn't want them to see me enjoying that. He got dropped off in the jungle, so you have to adapt. So I had to adapt when in Rome, right? Like I said, survival. We weren't being raised. We didn't know how bad it was until, now I'm a grown man looking back like, damn, that was a hectic time. That was scary. Like, I'm in there laughing at it at the time, like how, it's graffiti, look at that crackhead right there. And that's scary. No kid should see that. That's like PTSD, real shit. It's a whole world. Once I go back to my brownstone, them 3 blocks, it's a whole world. The pimps and the hustlers is right here, and the drug dealers are right here. You walk in, you getting a whole life lesson from point A to point B. Point B is your school. You're getting a whole life lesson. You don't want to be like this guy right here. Okay, me, I want to be that drug dealer right there. Because I thought the big chain, the leather jacket, and the Jordans and all the girls was success. That's what I thought it was. Like, you couldn't tell me different. We didn't have doctors and lawyers in my neighborhood. We didn't. The plumber, jobs like a plumber and a mechanic. We was like, we don't want to do that. Why sweat when I could go, get a pack and make all the money by 12 o'clock? Why not? Some of my friends, their older brothers were doing it. Why not? I wanted to be that guy. But then now I look back, that wasn't it. Yeah, when I first moved to America, we lived in Crown Heights. That block, St. John's, Buffalo, Rochester, Lincoln during those times was hectic, man. You start at top from Utica and you shoot all the way down to like Ralph. That was like my whole circumference. So you got Eastern Parkway all the way to Atlantic. That whole bubble, that fishbowl, welcome to the world. It was right there. Within that bubble and that fishbowl, it was crime, it was drugs, it was prostitution, it was savagery, cats getting their wig, pushed back. Google that. And you had to be okay with it. We were outside playing with our basketballs and footballs. This is on the floor. I seen a gun in the alley right there. It was regular. It just became, a part of life. In fact, this is the beginning of the Crown Heights riots as well. This is, the Jews and the blacks went at it. I remember one time I was looking out my window and a brown van pulled up at the corner of Buffalo and Lincoln. These dudes literally flipped the van, literally. Pulled the guy out, flipped the van, and I'm outside my window, my 3rd floor window, like, what the hell is going on? I seen women that, we knew in the neighborhood, caught them having sex for drugs. We seen it, and they were just doing it like it was regular. They see it, it's like, oh, just continue, and then, homie is doing whatever, and I'm just like, okay, keep it pushing, none of my business. I seen kids in school bring crack to school. They had it in the bathroom. You better shut the hell up and just go to class and mind your business. So this was the neighborhood. This was Crown Heights when I first started. And then I moved down the hill to the 90s. So the 90s, Clarkson, Winthrop, Church Avenue, Wilmore, Lenox, Kings Highway. Remsen, but then Remsen cuts off and goes into the 50s. We at the center of it all. The 90s was more Caribbean, you know, the Jamaicans at that time. One of my, well, I don't want to say his name, but this cat, his uncle was Shower Posse. And if you know anything about the Shower Posse, you know the reason they call Shower Posse, they shower you with bullets. So this is, again, this is what I'm living with. This is what I'm living with. This is I should have PTSD because I lived in, and I'm not even trying to be funny, I lived in a war zone. You got people that go over to Vietnam and come back with all this stuff. I understand now. I don't have it that severe because, you know, cats wasn't getting grenades. You might as well go to the laundromat, you see a guy toting a gun, and you're like, oh, okay, just keep pushing your cart, mind your business. But it really would cause somebody to get PTSD in the neighborhood. I'm dealing with it up the hill, Crown Heights, come back down, more bullshit is happening, right? And it's in front of me, so it's not like I'm hearing about it. And then, of course, you know, some of my friends was part of the fuckery too, so.
How did you separate the culture of what was going on outside and coming from a, not strict Guyanese culture, but when you walk through that door, it's something different?
I had to be two people. And I look back, yeah, I really had to be two people. Outside, you had to be a soldier. You had to, you know, protect yourself. Of course, survival mode. Again, this whole thing is survival. When I'm in the house, it was a certain thing I knew I couldn't do automatically. Caribbean people are just different, especially at that time. Now you kind of understand why they kept such a tight leash on you. They didn't want you, you know, to stray and go into those streets, as they call it. And when I'm outside, I'm with my friends, it was a different element. It was, you know, we weren't really necessarily looking to get into trouble, but we knew where the trouble was. The trouble was here. We'll go close to it, you know. Sometimes we dabbled in it, but then we knew we gotta get right back across the street. So I was the kid that, you know, the cats in the neighborhood knew that, oh yeah, his uncle and them, they hustling, so ain't nobody gonna touch him. He all right, he good. So if I was to step out and go outside and try to be a wolf, they'd be like, nah, go to school, bro. You don't gotta do it like us. Nah, you don't have to. You don't need it for survival. You just doing it for fun, so that's a slap in the face. We need it. We gotta eat. Our moms ain't giving us money. We don't know when the rent is gonna get paid. We don't know if the lights is gonna be back. We don't know if we getting water. So if they saw me out there, they'd be like, yo, let's go back in the house, man. And you know, it's times I did things that I shouldn't have done, but you know, it's from a place of me trying to emulate what I thought was cool at the time. And of course, I wasn't no follower. Nobody said, yo, take this pack. No, I went outside and, you know, I wanted to see what it was. I wanted to see what the excitement was about. I wanted to see why those girls were excited for those guys. You know what I mean? And, you know, again, the allure, just the allure of it though, man. It looks good. You know, all that glitters isn't gold and all gold doesn't glitter.